permanent, but countertops and that to do it. So now I'm just mixing it together, getting any granules out before I dump in the yellow. So you got to take your time during this step, because if you do have powdered granules in it, you will have spots on your material. Dark spots where the granules will be in contact with your fabric. So just be aware of that as you're doing this. I know it's not very exciting, and you can't see me very well while I'm talking, so let me just turn this off. There we go. So just be aware that it's not an exciting process all the time. Okay, I'm going to keep mixing, but I'm going to add the yellow now. Now, I've never mixed this color before, so you know what? One thing about dyeing, it really becomes a precise art. You really have to measure. I don't always good at measuring. So I'm guilty of not always measuring. But it is important, if you're particularly trying to go for a particular color, you need to really measure. Because one little thing thrown off can really mess up the whole thing. So just be aware. Yes, we are dyeing fleece, Gizmo. Oh, what are you cooking? Okay. Cooking dye. So anyway, so here we go. I am now, again, mixing and getting rid of any of the granules. So I do not have granules in my dye at all, dye bath. And I've left my fabric sit there for 10 minutes now, 10-15, in plain water, warm water. Just plain warm water, just to get the material prepared before we put it into the dye bath, okay? Okay, I'm hoping that that'll do it. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to dump this in. So, here we go. Turning it around so you can all see me. Watch the magic. If somebody wanted to see magic. Okay, here we go. So pretty. Okay. So I have 3 gallons of water pre-measured. And I still see powder in here. This saw it. I did all right. But anyways. So I still haven't mixed it. I'm hoping once it hits this, it will start mixing some more. So I'm now just spreading the dye so it's evenly distributed all over the water. And also mixing in hopefully the granules. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to here we go. So I'm going to now take the Antron Fleece that's sitting there. I'm going to lift it out and gently put it into the dye. Okay? Now, it says that you need to have about 1 pound of material for this dye and dried. And I did measure what I had here, and it was just under a pound. So far I've been pretty accurate in everything, and I just hope it works out. So I got to make sure I spread it out, because I do not want the dye, because this material is so stretchy, it's hard to lay it out flat right away. So, but you want to spread it out as much as you can, and we're going to let it sit in the dye. So, here we go. So, I think it's covered. Now, if you're going to experiment with the colors yourself and not follow a dye chart, that's okay. You can do that. I would strongly recommend it taking clippings off your Antron Fleece or whatever fabric you're using, because this method could be used for like cotton fabrics. Natural fabrics dye the best. Antron Fleece is the exception to the rule, because it's not a natural, but it is made to be dyed. Anyways, you can take off little pieces and dye them before you dye a whole piece. Because I'm following a specific color chart and they have the instructions laid out in front of me, I just went ahead and I'm taking probably a pretty big risk at thinking this is the color for sure, but I'm okay with that. And if I don't like it, you can go backwards. You can take your fleece, throw it in the washing. This is the only time I use the washing machine. Throw it in the washing machine, put about 2 cups of Javex, and let it run through a cycle. And it'll slowly, you might have to do it a few times. Don't add too much Javex, because you'll end up ruining the fabric. But first off, start with 2 cups. If it doesn't take most of the color out, then add another cup. And keep doing that. You will never get it back to white, but you'll get it very faded, the green. If I was using green, you can get it faded right down where you could try to re-dye it again. So it doesn't go to waste if you end up not liking. But you know what? It's not the best thing to do, is to have to take the dye out. But in an emergency or a crisis, it works the best. So I'm going to leave this soak for about 5 to 10 minutes to make sure that the colors. I'm going to come back. As you can see, I'm pressing it down a little to these air pockets. I really don't like them in here, but they're not always easy to get out. But I'm moving them around so that all my fabric can be dyed as equally as it can be, and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to just, like I said, keep doing this. I could probably do less than 5 to 10 minutes. And you need to realize as well is as the fabric dries, this color will get a little bit darker than what you see once you rinse it out. It'll be darker than what you see once you rinse it all out and everything. So that is something to keep in mind. That it doesn't mean after you rinse all the colors out, that's the color you'll get exactly. Very similar to foam, dyeing foam. It has a lot of the same procedures, but just different materials. So there we go. I'll just see if there's any questions that anybody might have. Oh, Javex is bleach. Yes, thank you. It's bleach that I was talking about. That's a good point. Yes, so Javex is bleach. Yes, thank you. Well, I have to mention